the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I am working on 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, series number 14. It is day number 3. Our sketch was created by Vanessa Bell. If I have her social media links, I will share them below in my description box, as well as the playlist for this month's 30 Days of Sketches. So I am going to be using some new-ish photos of my daughter who went on a cruise back in November of 2023. She sent me those the other day, and I decided they fit this sketch beautifully. And then I pulled out Pink Fresh Studios' Some Sunshine on My Mind, because I thought it would also be a great collection to play with. I have their Summer Shower ink pad, and this is probably a Vicky Bouton stencil. That would be my guess. And I'm going to use that for some stenciling on it. And there will probably be some splatters, and I'll bring in a different color for that when the time is ready for that. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video. When I come back, I'm going to have the flowers from here fussy cut, because I know I want a fussy cut from this page. I will have my photo mat cut, and the mat for, I'm going to use this as a mat because her sketch shows like a double matted background, so I'm going to use this tickety thing for my mat. It brings in all of the colors of the collection. I love doing that with papers like that, and I will be right back. Alright, so I cut down the floral piece of pattern paper. I believe it is like 4.5 by 12 before I trim it down. And then the blue piece, which happens to be the back side of it, is about the same width by 12, and again I'll cut that down here in a few minutes. I didn't want to pre-cut it because I wanted to make sure I got my mat the size that I wanted. I am using slightly larger photos than the original sketch. Hers looked to be either 2.5 by 2 or 3 by 3, and I am just going to be using mine as I printed them, which are 3 by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and trim down these mats, and then I'm going to adhere it to the page after I do some stenciling. First, I'm going to see kind of where it lands on here so I know where to put the stenciling, because I don't want to do a bunch of stenciling and then cover it up. So I'm going to be using, as I said, the Summer Shower ink pad by Pink Fresh Studio. It matches that brighter blue in the kit really well, and I said that I was going to use a different color for splatters. In the end, I end up just using the same ink pad and some water and a paintbrush to do the splatters, just to make it easy. And it's very subtle, but they're there and I really like them. So I am going to be just kind of using the stencil to line up as I go, and I'm sorry that I'm shaking the table so hard. It's what happens when your phone holder is attached to the table, and I'm just making sure that I get some of the ink all the way down that right hand side. I'm also using the little brush to put a little bit of ink along the edge of my mat. It's a very subtle look. You can barely see it until I put it down on that white cardstock. Now, a little trick on this white cardstock, it is actually the packaging paper from this collection. I just flipped it over and trimmed it down and used the white side. That way I'm not wasting any of it, and that means that I've got one more piece out of this collection. So here is where I am going to do the splatters. I just smush that ink pad right down on my glass mat, do some splatters with the paintbrush. Like I said, it's very subtle, but it's there, and I like how it looks in the end. I'm going to go ahead and clean my mess up real quick, and then I'm going to move along. So now I'm ready to start building this layout. I will do most of the gluing on camera, I believe, this time. That's not something I normally do, but I do for this layout. So I only fussy cut a few flowers from that pattern paper, and then I used the rest of it to put a mat on my photos. So in the end, I had very little scraps left from that pattern paper because of the way I cut it. I also had to jury rig the mat on one of the photos because I didn't have a large enough piece. So I just used washi tape on the back of two smaller pieces, matted my photo, and then trimmed it to fit the way that I wanted it to fit. So I'm using the two larger pink and peachy colored flowers on the lower middle of this layout and upper right hand side, and both white ones are going to go up there in that left corner. I will be bringing a little bit more color in as I go along. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up some of these pieces on the foam adhesive. I'm going to use this Hey Sunshine as my title, and I'm going to be honest with you, I thought I was going to use that colored alphabet, the one with all of the colors in the collection in it, and in the end I just decide that this sticker that says Hey Sunshine is enough. It's got enough of a title. There's a little subtitle on the sticker that I'm using for journaling. As you know, if you watch my channel, I almost always journal on my page, and I always try to create room for journaling as I go. This way I don't have an excuse to not journal, and that makes sure that when I set my layout aside, it is completely ready to be put away, and I don't have a stack of layouts to journal at the end of the month, because I think that if I did that, it would never ever happen. So I just do as I create, and it gets it done, and I'm good to go. So I'm still adding foam adhesive here and there underneath the flowers. I'm not going to add it on everything because it doesn't always work. I really wanted to use this little banner piece, and so I decided it was going to go down on that lower side with the flower. It kind of gives it a tone on tone, but I love the quote on it. What you see me doing here is using the leftover bits from my foam dots as my foam adhesive. That way there's no waste, and I don't have as much stuff to throw in the trash, just the backing from it. And that pretty much gets most of the journaling done. I'm kind of looking to see if there's anything else I want to use. Considered using Sun and Fun, but again, I decided I had enough words on here until I get to these puffy stickers, which I'm opening here, and I'm gonna attempt to put that sun on, and I just didn't like it, and so I found the two little puffy hearts, and those are going to end up on here. I put a light pink one up over on that left hand side so that I could get some pink on that side, just kind of give you a visual triangle with all that pink. Of course, there's more on the right and middle side than there is on the top left side. I'm going to be using some more of these stickers to just kind of tuck in places, and I end up putting that pink sticker right there, and that even brings a little bit more of the pink on that side. I decided to add the Sunshine on My Mind puffy sticker, and now I'm going to add some of these matte enamel dots. I really liked the matte enamel dots. This is my first package of them, and I was really pleased with them. All right, I got my layout done, and I don't think I did anything off camera after gluing things down, because I did most of that right here on camera except for the journaling. So this is my layout for day 3, a sketch created by Vanessa Bell. I'll have any of her information linked below. Make sure that you check out that playlist below. And thank you so much for coming to my channel today. I know that you have lots of choices to watch scrapbooking process videos. There are so many of us out there creating our little hearts out, And each one of us is so grateful for those of you who take the time to like, comment, and subscribe. You are creating our channels for us, and we appreciate that. So if you are not a subscriber, I would love to have you subscribe. I do answer comments as soon as I possibly can from my subscribers. So if you have a question or comment, just drop it below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. You have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye.